Alright guys, True Combo here. UFC 325 just happened, and man, this was a banger of a card, and let's talk about it. So the first fight that I saw, I didn't see the Lawrence Louis fight, but I saw the Kichito Nakamura fight versus Sebastian Saleh. And man, Sebastian Saleh, man, he fumbled the bag. He was winning literally the majority of this fight, and Nakamura just the knee. I think it was like a knee up the middle, just knocked him out cold for a second, and yeah, he won the fight. The referee had to stop that immediately. Like, Saleh was out. It was a good stoppage, and what a comeback for Nakamura, man. That was crazy to see live. I already knew seeing that this card was gonna be pretty good, but man, Saleh could have won that, man. I think he was just being a little reckless in the third, but you live and you learn. But after that fight, it was Songwoo Kim versus Donmar Fan, and Donmar Fan, I'm a fan of you, man. He reminds me of pretty much an Australian Giga Chikadze, and I think that performance was crazy. I believe he landed a crazy looking question mark kick. This was just a nice little back and forth striking battle, you know, kind of. I think there was some clinching involved, you know, some mixing in of the clinching to set up the strikes. Very nice, I would say, kind of showcase for Donmar Fan. I'm excited to see him in the future. So definitely a cool little lightweight contender to look out for. So the next fight, man, we're already starting with the controversy early on, man. Khan Ofli versus Yiza. What? Look, I'm not one to throw that robbery word around, but this was a blatant robbery. I believe this was a majority decision for Khan Ofli. One of the judges gave this a draw, which I don't understand how this fight is not a draw. The first round was, I would say, the toughest round to score. The two next rounds were not hard to score at all. Yiza, I mean, I'm not going to say there were 10-8 rounds for Yiza, by no means, but they were clear for Yiza. Yiza was hurting Ofli. He was the closest to finishing the fight at some points. Like, I don't understand how Ofli won at all. Ofli was landing good shots of his own, but none of it compared to Yiza's shots. Like, Yiza's shots were hurting Ofli, and like I said, he almost finished him at one point. Kind of crazy, but that's okay. Stuff that's why you can't leave it to the judges sometimes. And to be frank, it was in Australia, so maybe that could have been a factor. But what a robbery, man. I hate to throw that word around, like I said, but terrible, man. I feel bad for Yiza, because this was a contract. This is to get a UFC contract. This wasn't just a normal fight. This is even more important than like your debut fight. You need to get the contract. This is like your job interview. So it sucks, but I highly doubt Yiza. I mean, they have to have realized that this was a robbery. I'm talking about the UFC, and I hope Yiza gets another chance, at least on the Contender Series, or if he just gets straight up a contract, I'll be happy, man, because he doesn't deserve that. What a performance by Yiza. Khan Ofli, I guess, shout out to him being tough, but still, man, you didn't win that fight. Sorry, bro. Man, Jonathan Mikhailov versus Oban Elliott. This is a scrap, man, until, Mikhailov just came back with that sub. Oban was pretty, was putting in the work, but, Mikhailov was handling it, and he was putting in shots of his own until he ultimately got the sub, man. That's all I really could say about this fight. Just a very entertaining scrap until it ended, and just definitely a good fight to start the prelims. Very entertaining. I had Oban winning, but unfortunately, that wasn't in the cards, but it's okay. It was a good scrap until it wasn't, Jacob, man, I called this one. Everyone was saying Taurus Finney's gonna win. Taurus Finney's the underdog. Oh my god, we should pick him. He trains with DC. Bro, this guy fought like 3 times on the fucking Contender Series. What makes him good? I'm not saying Jacob Malkoun is a damn marauder, okay? Like, oh my god, Jacob Malkoun, bro, watch out. Like, no. I just didn't see Taurus Finney's horrible, bro. Like, middleweight, we have a Derek Lewis that sucks and can't knock out anybody, bro. I'm sorry, I don't get the hype at all with Taurus Finney, bro. I don't care if he trains with DC, if he's like he's big as shit. I don't care. He's trash. He fought almost like Taito Ivasa in the main event, or not main event, but main card. We'll get to that. But yeah, no, I said if this fight stays on the feet, Jacob Malkoun is gonna piece him up, and that's exactly what he did. So yeah, good on Jacob Malkoun. At least it was a bit of a entertaining watch, at least for me, because I enjoyed watching that. Because not because I don't hate Torres Finn, I don't hate the guy, I won't say that, but I hate how everyone was like kind of disrespecting Jacob Malkoun in a way. I'm like, come on, man. Cam Roston versus Cody Brundage. I can't lie, this, even though Cam Roston did rally and, you know, get the victory towards, you know, in the second round, but it didn't really look good, man. I can't lie, Cody Brundage was kind of piecing him up. I wouldn't say piecing him up like hitting him with combos, but he was catching him with some, it's just, he was catching him with shots that were due to Cam Roston's kind of habit, and I think this is just a habit with tall fighters in general, of just leaving his chin up in the air. That's scary. I really like Cam Roston, but if he's gonna keep doing that, he kind of reminds me of kind of how Pereira, he, you know, of course he's the ultimate glass cannon. You get hit by Pereira, you're gonna die, but you touch him because his chin is in the air, he's gonna die. Cam Roston doesn't have Alex Pereira power, so I don't know how you can improve upon that. That seems kind of ingrained in him, but I'm glad he won. I'm glad my pick was right, and you know, but I'm afraid if he gets hit, you know, matched up with a, God forbid, if he gets matched up with a Atiba goes here, he's gonna die. So please, I don't know what he's got to do to improve that, but please, Cam, I love you, buddy. All right. Next fight, this was the headlining prelim. Junior Tafa versus Billy Elecana, man. I called this one exactly. Billy Elecana by submission. I was a little scared though, guys. I was crapping my pants watching this fight, because Junior Tafa, man, those Tafa bros, I mean, look, they lose sometimes, or at least, you know, a good portion of their UFC matches, but they always got that one-hitter quitter, man. They always got that Samoan power. But Billy Elecana is also Samoan, and he got that Samoan chin. So I'm, you know, very, very shocked that Billy survived that first shot that he took, where he literally felt like he was hurt on the floor, and then he scrambled up with Junior Tafa. But if Junior Tafa actually had good ground game and good ground control, and could actually keep Billy Elecana in the ground and just hit him with ground and pound, he would have finished that fight. But the Tafa bros, man, it's just, I like them. I can't lie. They're, you know, they're the quintessential heavyweight, light heavyweight entertainment. You know, they're what you want in a light heavyweight or heavyweight fighter in terms of entertainment, but in terms of career sustainability and being able to win consistently, at least in mixed martial arts in the UFC, they haven't really been able, man. They're just more, kickboxing is their strong suit, which sucks, man. I mean, I don't know, dude, the Tafa bros in like dirty boxing or bare knuckle would do numbers though. So yeah, man, I'm sad for Junior Tafa, but Billy Elecana, I knew he was gonna get the sub. So good for Billy Elecana. He really was tough out there. Main card. All right, I got some things to say. All right, so first fight was pretty straightforward. We all knew Sal Kild was just out there to get a highlight clip with Jamie Mullarkey. Personally, I thought he was gonna go more for the knockout route, but knowing that Sal Kild is actually a really good grappler, I shouldn't be shocked, you know, that he didn't get the that he didn't really go for the knockout, and he was really going more for the submission. Jamie Mullarkey was actually doing, at least at first, a pretty good job of defending all the grappling exchanges from Sal Kild, but then Sal Kild was just, you know, eventually he just got the positioning, he got the control, he was just eventually able to just get the submission on Jamie Mullarkey. So this was a good fight, or at least a entertaining grappling match until it wasn't, and it was over. Good for Quinlan Sal Kild, man. I have pretty high hopes for this kid, man. He's a lightweight contender, and he's a big lightweight contender too. So I feel like he can really do some pretty good things. He kind of reminds me of a more of a well-rounded Dan Hooker. The only thing that we got to see though is how tough is he, you know? Like at least against a really big puncher in the lightweight division. That's not one-dimensional, of course. Someone with good takedown defense. Next fight. Oh, I got some things to say about this one. Just this generational fight against Tai Tuivasa and Thaleson Teixeira. Man, I made this little meme about Tai Tuivasa, about him when he fights big tall fighters, when he fought Stefan Struve. I know he fought Volkov, he got submitted by him. It even kind of looked like that in this fight, but I knew that Thaleson is not that good, and that Thaleson could get knocked out if it was by the, if you're a heavyweight with at least better cardio than Tai, and a slightly, or at least a general knowledge of takedown defense, you can beat this guy. But and I thought Tai was actually gonna knock him out purely because this was in his hometown. I know he's lost before, but I feel like he was the hungrier fighter. He's on that skid. He wants to get that win, and I thought Thaleson was the one. Like, I didn't think Taleson's that good, bro. People are like, oh my god, he's so tall, man, he's gonna kill Tai. Like, people are acting as if he was gonna murder Tai, and I did not think he was gonna murder Tai, man. This was very much a frustrating fight to watch because I wanted Tai to, he was so close to knocking him out, man, but he would just get on, he would sprawl. The one time he sprawls in the fight was to rest, bro. He couldn't even spin around and just throw some ground and pound. If he just initially sprawled and immediately turned around and started throwing that ground and pound instead of doing it like 30 seconds after, when the third round was about to end, he would have gotten the win for sure. But I don't know, man, he was just, I remember seeing a picture of him ripped on Instagram, but I don't know what that did for him, because holy crap. Let me not talk crap about Tai. Thaleson looked like absolute garbage. That guy was tired too, all right, after like taking him down twice. I don't give a crap. Thaleson looked like ass, all right. Thaleson, if you give him a matchup like a Sergey Pavlovich, he's dying, all right. He's overrated, in my opinion. I'll eat my words once he starts showing me that he's not complete, I don't want to say complete trash, but he's not overrated. I'll eat my words and I'll admit that he's a good heavyweight. But if you're looking like that against Tai, getting knocked out by Derek, especially how, seeing how Derek did in his last fight, you're not making it, buddy. I'm sorry. So, and also this fight killed everyone's parlay. This fight went to decision, which is shocking. This was Taleson's first decision ever. So, frustrating watch, but I guess entertaining nonetheless, because it was so ugly to watch. Mauricio Rufi versus Rafael Fiziev. I thought this was going to be more of a war, but this was very much a kind of Piotr Jan downloading data-esque situation, except at least it happened a lot quicker. First round, it was just pretty much Fiziev taking control of the center of the octagon, having Rufi against the going around against the cage. And Rufi just looked like Piotr Jan downloading data, reading Fiziev, giving him different looks, and just trying to read him, and then making an adjustment and really capitalizing on the reads that he was trying to at least make on Fiziev during the first. And he really did, man. He caught him with a crazy straight up punch. It really looked like one of those McGregor punches. I'm telling you, Rufi is Conor reskinned as a Brazilian dude. It was tough seeing Fiziev getting put out like that, but it was also shocking. I thought Fiziev was, at least gonna put up a crazy fight. I had Rufi by knockout, so at least that pick was right. But still, guys, we love Fiziev over here, so we don't want to see him get done like that. But what a good finish to see from Rufi, man. He really deserved that, especially after being beat like that by Benoit Saint-Denis. And man, it would be entertaining to see him in the future. We'll see what else holds for him. It is the lightweight division after all, so it's nothing but hard matchups after this, man. So good on Rufi, man. What a crazy matchup, and I hope Fiziev recovers and fights soon, man. We love seeing him fight. We love Fiziev over here. All right, next fight we got Dan Hooker versus Benoit Saint-Denis. I'm shocked. I had Benoit Saint-Denis by submission, which he almost got it, but Dan is just way too tough for his own good, and he's so long, pause. he was just grabbing his own hand to, extend his arm so his arm wouldn't be across his neck and during his the head and arm choke that Benoit had on him. I could have sworn that he was gonna tap him out, especially when he initially had it. I mean, that was tight, and it looked like Dan was almost about to get out of, or at least be out of it. But I think he got flashes of that Armin fight, and he was like, "No, I'm not losing like this again." And I don't know. I think Herb Dean was the ref for this fight, and he had freaking money on Hooker because he was just letting this fight go, man. Holy crap, he talk about what in the early stoppage, bro. Like, holy moly, man, he was just letting Dan get pieced up. I thought we were about to get another Bobby Green clip, man. But no, Benoit was just punching and elbow throwing these nasty just elbows, and just looking at those elbows, I know that hurt. And yeah, Benoit eventually got the TKO, and it sucks to see Dan lose like that, but he is too tough for his own good, and that's how you gotta stop the fight when it's Dan Hooker, man. You just gotta stop it, man. You just gotta let him get beat up until you stop it. He's too tough for his own good. But hope Dan Hooker recovers well. But man, Benoit Saint-Denis looked pretty good, but I did expect him to win this fight. I don't know how he would do after Dan Hooker. Like, if you were to give, even though Dan Hooker is probably gonna fight Paddy Pimblett next, but hypothetically, if you were to give Paddy Pimblett to Benoit Saint-Denis, that's like right now one of the only, or maybe a Charles. So either a Paddy or a Charles Oliveira are kind of right now in my mind the two top lightweight contenders that Benoit can beat. I don't know about everybody else, like Armin or also Justin, but I see Justin retiring after he fights Ilias, so I don't know if he'll still be in the picture. But if he is, Charles, Justin, and Justin and Paddy are the three lightweights I can see Benoit fighting and beating. I don't know about Armin. I don't know if he beats Armin, to be honest. That would be a pretty good scrap, but yeah, I don't know if he beats Armin, and I don't know if he beats Max Holloway. That would be another good scrap. Anyone you give Benoit, he's so entertaining, man. That's one thing you got to give Benoit. Who cares if he gets quote unquote fraud checked? He's not a fraud, man. He is a freaking killer, and he's so entertaining all the time. What a killer, man. One of my favorite lightweights right now. I got this. Alexander, do you come from a land down under? Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. What did I say, man? Diego looked worse in this fight. Holy crap, he did not change anything, man. What the hell? I had Volkanovski winning by decision, but I mentioned in my official picks video that if Diego was made the fight a little more wilder, he did get a knockdown in this fight, but nonetheless, if he made this fight a little more wilder, but the key thing is if he implemented at least a little more leg kicks, to kind of slow down Volk, because the key to to kind of beat Volk is, one of the best things that Volk has is his movement. If you just kick his legs over and over and over, obviously that limits his movement and that opens him up more. And Diego has that. He always has that knockout threat. So if he just kind of compromised Alex's movement, he could have really hurt Alex and put him away. But yeah, no. Diego pretty much came in like the last fight, and Alex actually came in like he made improvements. He looked way better. This was more of a clear decision for Alex than the last fight, even though to me the last fight wasn't that close. It wasn't even close in my opinion, but this fight was a clear decision for Alex, man. I don't know what everybody was thinking. Everybody was just disrespecting Volk, man. What's up with the Volk disrespect? This guy never has done anything wrong. This guy got knocked out twice by Ilya, and then or by Islam, and then Ilya came back, won his belt against one of the most dangerous contenders, fought this guy again when he didn't have to. This guy, respect to Diego Lopez, because this was probably not, this is more of the UFC's decision, not his, but he did not deserve that title shot. Alrighty, so that was my recap of UFC 325. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments below. Let me know if you guys liked it. Let me know if you guys hated it. And also, let me know if that Tai versus Taliesin fight was the best display of athletic performance that you've ever seen in a UFC fight. Alrighty, guys. Peace.